going on, guys? Welcome to our Monday live call. So, just another reminder, it's definitely NFP week. All right, guys. So, just hopefully you guys went and watched the weekly prep. Thought it was pretty good. Should at least get you guys prepared on what to expect moving forward. So, just all right, let's get that there. So, what we're gonna have today is we're gonna have at 9:45. We're gonna get the S&P Global Manufacturing and we get the ISM PMI data coming out. So it's not just focusing on that one metric. We got to focus on prices paid, employment, and new orders. So we've been dealing with this data. It is you can see that is previously it's below 50. So that is putting us in contractionary territory. So that's showing that PMI data is actually doing bad, right? Growth numbers is doing bad, especially when we continuously see the rest of this PMI data and it stays below 50. That could actually start becoming a concern. All right. When it comes to actual growth, so like the best idea, I would like for us to start getting weaker data across the board because that would most likely be the easiest opportunity for us, right? Where it comes to picking a direction. Now, when it comes to the dollar, right? We already see that we have broke above structure already. So hopefully, this is most likely happening because we got the partial lockdown. Ever since Kevin Walsh got elected, right? We've been seeing a hawkish reaction. And then what else happened? Like a dollar rising as a safe haven. The last rate decision, Powell is still data dependent. So that is supporting upside in the dollar, right? So if we get stronger ISM data today, the way that I could see that this data at 10 will make a difference is if we see it go above 50, right? If it's above 50, that will increase the odds of showing that the Feds could still be data dependent and they could be patient, right? So if dollar does retract to this area of 97.2, I want to see if this area could hold and then we could start looking for upside, right? Or see if we could probably get that for the remainder of the day or if we could get that for the next few days. But we also going to need other data metrics and news headlines to confirm it, right? News headlines to confirm it. All right. So right now is NYSE open. We are seeing equities push higher, right? So we're seeing Nasdaq push higher, like just so you guys are aware. All right. So that's just what's really going on. So I'm gonna just do trade ideas for this data and we'll look to trade it live. And a reminder, you don't have to trade it. Like in reality, I would say that the labor data is going to be more of a primary focus instead of like news headlines regarding geopolitical tensions and the labor data will probably be more of a primary focus than then it's just PMI data, right? Because usually what the markets do, they let the data pass. And then once the data passes, that's when the important headlines start coming out. That's when Trump be saying his crazy stuff. That's when, we'll get stuff like that that is actually market moving. All right. And then later today, tonight, we do got the RBA rate decision. So just be prepared for that as well if you guys want to trade it. So if somehow we do get a weaker dollar, remember what I was saying the other yesterday, looking for strength in AUD pairs would probably be the best bet, right? Like AUD JPY. It did break below that support, as expected, but we're seeing now price action is pushing higher. It's because we had a risk off market yesterday. So let's see if we can see continuations on a stronger AUD currency. Hopefully, we can see gold continue to push higher, which would be great as well. All right, guys. Just put it here. So anybody took the high risk buys on gold? Yeah, this Sunday was a lot different. It wasn't the buys on gold this Sunday. Like this one actually pushed lower. But last night was pretty good though. Let's see if we got anything. So we could just see that so far. He's welcomes China and India to invest in Venezuela oil, so that should be weakening oil prices. We see that the shutdown, they're expecting it to be like a week, which is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you caught the sales? Yeah, good, good. Yeah, just follow price action. So it seems like the odds, they're expecting it to last like 5 days. Boeing went on contract with India. You see right here, unlikely to change his policy. Let's put this in banter. Oh, you already put it, Anthony. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I gotta get up with Oracle. Good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning, Rich. Anybody's up to speed with Oracle IPO? Okay, got you. Yeah, I don't really see nothing. Yeah, they about to become really rich. Yeah, the US still like this is a concern too, but it's not. Yeah, because it's not military action. So that's what's see how this goes. Yeah, Oracle and SpaceX. Got you. Yeah, people are make a lot of money with that IPO shit. It's a good investment. Does it say when? Yeah, you can invest early. Yeah. Yeah, I think this would be a good yeah, it's like yeah, it's like being able to invest in Tesla when it first came out, like something like that. Like, yeah, everybody got a shot now. Usually is on their website. They could give you first dibs. Uh, depends on like sometimes they have a minimum and a max. And sometimes like, some companies is like you can invest like the minimum could be like $1,000. Sometimes it's outrageous. But usually when it releases in its IPO, like you could just use like Robinhood and stuff like that. And most likely during the IPO, it's gonna be it's gonna be extremely bullish. Like it's just gonna like shoot up eventually. It's gonna shoot up as soon as it come out, and then probably try to catch it at a low. Like hopefully it's just not like some crazy release. Like and then try to catch the retracement, and then that's when and whenever you could get that low, that's when you just hold for the probably for your kids. Because I definitely don't think Oracle is gonna go anywhere. But usually it's on the website. You could they give you options there to invest early into companies. There's usually like a website for, I forgot what was the website called. There was usually a website for it where, yeah, competition. Yeah, of course. Which there will be. I don't think it's just going to be this year. Uh, maybe like, I would say probably like, I don't think it's going to be this year though, but I think competition is going to start spiking up soon. Cash App, you can invest in the stocks. I know you could do like Bitcoin, but I didn't know about stocks. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. I mean, you could. I think it's protected and all that stuff. But yeah, like you could do like Webull or like yeah, Robinhood, get that gold membership shit that they have, and you get the whole platform and it's protected. It doesn't charge to invest. Like I don't think that's a problem. Should get like Robinhood. Look into it. I mean, just watch it, but when it comes to stocks, it's a lot different than what we do. It's like you miss on this opportunity. Like if it's like when is there going to be another Oracle, right? Another Tesla, another Coca-Cola. So it's like you don't want to miss out on the opportunities. All right, guys. So in a minute, we got the S&P PMI data. So like the only way is if this data comes out below 50, which if it's still higher than expected, it's still the focus is still going to be on ISM anyway. But the green arrow is the breaks of structure, and we should get continuations if we get stronger data today. We should see dollar strength. All right, at least that should be the direction for today. If we get dollar strength, when it comes to like EU, it already broke structure. Let me fix this. Just like Friday, guys, I do feel that instead of just like if being impulsive, right? Just looking for a trade just because you just got that itch. I think it's just best to just wait until we get a clear reason, not just because I don't feel like this data is going to really impact as much. I don't think it's going to really cause that much of an impact. But like obviously we never know. This is PMI, so most likely when it comes to equities, I would think that we will see equities pushing higher, which I am expecting from equities to push higher because there is still not nothing that is suggesting that equities should be extremely bearish, right? We don't have that yet. If we could get like geopolitical tensions. We get comments that the lockdown is going to last a lot longer. Like stuff like that was signal for equity downside. But other than that, this is just setting up for better buys. Yeah, it came out at a 52, so it's a 52.4 for S&P 500, but it's not really like it's usually the one at 10. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just short term noise. I don't think it's gonna matter, because like I was saying yesterday, I do feel that Trump is going to be the one to probably lie to us and say that, oh, I spoke to Wash today, and like he probably going to say something. It's kind of looking like that we're in the same boat when it comes to cutting rates. I think he's going to say something like that. You know what I mean? Like because when he speaks to Walsh, that I think Trump is the only one that could really like get the markets to go, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Trump is going to say something like that to pretty much cause like a dovish reaction. But we just have to remember that the markets already did it. Like we already been seeing it this whole time. So we really do need something like new. You know what I mean? Like we really do need something new. And I just don't think that like we're gonna have to wait until first he has to get in by the Senate anyway. So we need that to happen first because they could deny it, right? So we need that to happen first, and then we need to see what he says about policy. So we still got steps. What's still being an impact for the markets today is just geopolitical tensions. So let's just like I think that is still the main focus. Like equities is still bullish. Like as we see today, like the downside was really good for better buys. Gold still bullish, and I still like downside for dollar. I still like the idea of downside for oil. Like you could just see like how oil started pushing lower now. Got that break of structure. So far oil is dropping, but we don't have de-escalations yet. I think the de-escalations with Iran is going to probably set oil down to 60 to 55. And I would say that would be the opportunity. And then once if oil could hit like 50 to $55 a barrel, then start looking for upside. If they deny it, do you think the market will reverse gold sells? I mean, wait until if they deny it, then we have to see why and then who's going to be the next runner up and stuff like that. So most likely, if you know that they deny Walsh, I don't. I personally don't. I don't think they would. I don't think it's going to happen. Most likely, they would agree on that. Um, if they nominate any of the other members just expect a dovish reaction, you know. And if Walsh does come in, then expect a hawkish reaction. Supposedly they can, yeah, because that's what's up next. It's not. I mean, you know, in the United States of America, Trump doesn't. It's the Senate that makes all the laws and rules and regulation. It's not just Donald Trump, you know. So it shows that's why they had to vote the right people in before he gets in, or after voting his people in, because it's the Senate that really controls everything. So yeah, like even though he's elected, but they still have to vote him in. Yeah, he don't. Yeah, the Supreme Court. Yeah, it's quiet too. But we already know when the Supreme Court comes out, we're gonna know. Like we'll know. You know, like we'll know because that news headline when those news come out, we'll definitely know when the Supreme Court starts talking again. It'll be news headlines everywhere. Any of y'all saw it read up on the Epstein file shit? Like I don't think there's no point. I mean, they obviously redacted. Like what I heard is that they redact they give you 1 billion documents and like all it is all redacted. It's like so they obviously want to they don't want you to know shit. They just whatever it is that you see is what they want you to see. Like it's so corrupted and people fall for that shit. It's like they give you a whole document and it's all blacked out. And then have you see this photo of him chasing women around the kitchen. It's like they want you to it's certain things they want you to see, but the shit that they don't want you to see is should be concerning, you know. There's no reason for them to be everything blacked out, 1,000 documents and all blacked out, but certain things that they just want the public to see. I'm like, that is so fucked up, dude. It's like, what is the point? You know, like it's no point. I didn't see what Reagan said. No, I didn't look at. I just saw Chris Tucker, and I was like, man, that nigga, he gonna do a comedy special now. Shit. The only thing I saw was Chris Tucker, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna stop listening to this stuff. I was like, he gonna be all over. He gonna make a whole special about it. But nah, what did Reagan say? It's just messed up. It's like why say that you're gonna be oh we're gonna be transparent and then redact everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like yeah, I mean, sun is gonna pop up. Yeah, we got like 10 minutes for data, guys. Yeah, sun is gonna pop up. Like, I mean, he caught doing some crazy shit. It's like you gotta go. There's no reason R. Kelly's still in there and then yo ass the president, you know? So whatever pops up, it pops up. Just hope like just make sure it's true. Yeah, the administration is like very, very bad. Like it just shows that the administration is not good. They don't own none of the news sources still. Like they just very, very bad at like talking to the public. It's just very bad. Yeah, I don't know the rumors. Whatever happens in the next 2 months, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just stupid. But yeah, this is very bad. You know, like it seems like you guys got to like make it make sense though, right? So even like you could be totally against ICE and all that. You could be 100% against it. How come if the Trump administration is saying that we're arresting criminals, we're doing all of the people killing, like they're killing women, they're kidnapping children. This is what they say. So how come they are so bad at actually giving us proof that this person, we're arresting this person because he is wanted for attempted murder and kidnapping? Why are they so bad at distributing that information to the public? Like you see what I'm saying? It's like if you want to win the side of the public, then how come majority if you type in on your social media accounts, like any website, just type in ICE agents um saving children, right? You're probably going to see more of ICE agents arresting children. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that it's controlled because there's no 50-50. And that's where you have to think. It's like when it comes to the administrations, like it's always one-sided. It's never like a biased thing. So it's like, how come they are so bad? Yeah, I know, but how come they're so bad at distributing that information? So it just makes people believe you're full of shit. You get what I mean? So it's just I always thought that about Trump's administration. They suck at communication to a point like either they're doing all of this distraction on purpose or they just don't care. Like it just makes no sense to me. It's like how you gonna tell people, yeah, we're kidnapped, we're taking people that are criminals and stuff, and don't show proof. And then if it's that easy, you should show proof. How come when like they don't when you're an officer, right, you get a briefing. You go out there, they tell you exactly who to look for. You got his whole documentation of the person that you need to arrest. You know where he lives. You know what he did. You got everything. When it comes to these ICE agents, how come they don't disclose some of that information? Like, oh, we not just waking up in the morning and just going to the local Walmart and then asking somebody, say the word Walmart. And if you don't sound like an American, we're going to take you in. So how come they don't do a good job at explaining that? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we just not waking up on the wrong side of the bed and just fucking with people. You know, so it's like they can't even do that right. So it's just weird to me. Like, it's just super weird. That's why it's you can't debate the shit. It's like it's just so weird. It's like it seems like they just doing all of this shit on purpose. Like it seems intentional. Like they trying to cause division. They trying to put the National Guard and cause a civil war. It's like very intentional. It's just stupid. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes, guys. So again, I like the if we do get a higher print, it has to be above a 50. Okay. Like to me, it has to be above a 50. If we could get a really good print, we'll take advantage of that. But like that will cause probably stronger dollar. But again, you don't have to trade this print. I personally don't think that it's gonna matter as much. My opinion. I personally don't think this print is gonna matter as much. Just show you guys this here. Only because dollar buys, maybe USD JPY buys could be a good option. I would say that when it comes to maybe we could get a weaker dollar, gold buys could be the best bet. But I'm personally thinking like AUD USD buys if we get a miss, right? Because you can see so far the revised numbers are here 4.4, 4.7. So yeah, my other thing is not up yet. So I'm gonna just use this for now. This one is a little delayed by a few seconds. So that's why I don't really like using this one. But let's see. Hopefully we could get it. And then most likely by later we'll have the other from Reuters. GU buys is good. I like the high risk buys for GU if we get a miss, but it has to be below. It has to be below 47. It has to be a complete miss across the board. But I like AUD USD buys better. You know, if we do get a miss, I think that will probably be better because we still I like them both. I think they both make sense. We just need a weaker. All we need is just a weaker dollar. Or you could trade UJ just to be neutral. Completely up to you on like what you want to do. But like just take if we do get a complete miss or beat, just take that scalp, right? If we do get a beat, I like the idea of a stronger dollar. So I think that is a better hold. UJ buys would probably be the best bet. But after this, let's just focus on news headlines. Okay. Let's see what type of crazy shit we're going to get today. And that is most likely going to be the direction. Remember, it's NFP week. So it's only Monday. Just be patient. We got three rate decisions, so this data might not cause a lot, but geopolitical tensions will. Yeah, that seems like they work in isolation without. I mean, it's I don't know how it is like, but I think they do that all the time. Like FBI, they're not working with the police department. I think they do that a lot. But yeah, like who knows? All gangsters is problem, so they won't care. So we get killed by police. Hitler tried to do, yeah, make them seem like they're gangsters. Yeah, this was crazy. That shit 40. That shit did not. I see it. That shit did not come out as a 40. Mm. Yeah, I hope we get a miss, and then I'll take advantage. I hope we get a miss. I'm gonna look at AUD USD buys or USD JPY. All right, I'm gonna look at those two pairs. Yeah, just a little minor delay. See what we get. All right, so 52.6. So that supports a stronger dollar. Okay. So yeah, it's a good beat. Yeah, it's a good beat. Yep, that's a good beat. So that this supports a stronger dollar. It does. It's not what we really want, but it does support the direction. You could just see like a surprise also. So we're back in expansionary territory. Like all the numbers did well. So I it's not what I want, like it's not what we want, but it does support dollar strength. Okay. So like UJ buys, we should see GU, EU, all like sells for that, right? When it comes to equities, like right now, like we should see equities push lower. Like it should push lower from more of a hawkish reaction and then probably look for the buys afterwards. Like could this cause equities to push lower? Like not really, because like what really matters is growth. What really matters is inflation and labor data. But this just supports good growth. So I personally like the idea. I think a stronger dollar makes the most sense. Like UJ, if UJ could hold, that'd be great. Possibly gold could push a little lower due to the fact of seeing that we're having stronger dollar and stronger yields. All right. So like the thing, so it makes sense. But it's not the easiest opportunity, right? Because the reality is, right, when we look at the bigger picture, the Federal Reserve is not the ECB. It's not the Reserve Bank of Australia. Like the Reserve Bank of Australia is a possibility of hiking interest rates. The Federal Reserve is not hiking rates. So the fact that they're not hiking interest rates is like you're buying a stronger dollar until higher rates hurt the economy. You know what I'm saying? So I like the idea of a stronger dollar. I think you could take that scout if you guys want. If you're just entering the high risk sells on EUs, like all the dollar pairs, or you entered UJ buys. I enter a UJ buy, but I'm gonna just take a scout. Like it could go for the rest of it. It could like dollar, like I could see dollar going back to 99 or 100 because of the what we have going so far. I just think that we're probably going to see either I don't it's interesting to see if this is just rally to the upside or we get a pullback first and then we could start rallying to the upside. Which could happen just in a day, right? We could see the pullback and the rally all the way up in a day. If we could see dollar continue push higher, that'd be great. But yeah, I'm gonna just take partials on UJ. And if I get hit at break even, I get hit. I don't care. But dollar buys make sense, guys, because ever since Walsh came in, we have dollar rising as a safe haven with the tensions with Iran and the lockdown uncertainties, right? Economic data is not confirming that we're seeing recession or that the Fed should cut rates aggressively. We're not seeing that. What else? Yields is still above 4%. Like everything is still supporting stronger dollar. Like nothing is really supporting rate cuts. So that's the big factor. But we know that's the next step, but we just don't know when. Make sense? So that's why dollar buys still make sense. And you see, like right here, breaks above structure, bullish outlook. So far, data confirms it. So let's see if we get those continuations. See how that goes. Yeah, like equities, I don't think that this would push equities lower. This should help. Like, yeah, we got a little red candle, but then look for the buys after as this supports good growth. But now we just have to focus on let's see what happens today on a road call. Yeah, this is why I need to get my other shit back, my Reuters back, because like even this, like it's still pending. So it's like hell, like nah. All right, there you go. Did it? Still, yeah. That's why I get my Reuters. Yeah, I'll get it back today. Yeah, nah, I ain't doing that shit. Nope. Go right back to it. Hell nah. Guess it's good for like journaling, but yeah, that's it. Nah, nope. Go right back. I was gonna look at something. I forgot. Yeah, roll call. All right. So let's see what he got for today. So just remember, right? And also just like keep it in your notes. Just like equity should be bullish today, like because the downside really just doesn't make sense. Participate in signing time. So that's at 3:30. All right. So pretty quiet day he has so far today. So I would expect dollar strength to hold. Like maybe if we do get a pullback, is expected, but it's just the pullback. I wouldn't worry much about as long as we don't break below 97.0, and we should see dollar strength try to hold for the day. When it comes to equities, I think equities could still push higher, right? Because this supports good growth. When it comes to gold, focus on technicals. So if gold, even if dollar is still high or consolidating, if gold breaks above 4,800, most likely we're going to see gold hit 5K. So just focus on technicals. If gold breaks below 4,600, then most likely we could hit that support of 44.85, right? We could hit that support. So most likely just focus on headlines. The only thing that could change is if we get news headlines today that is either if Iran tensions escalate, so write it down, right? If Iran tensions escalate, right, that should cause that should cause oil to push higher. It should cause gold to push higher. That should push equities lower. If Iran tensions de escalate, we should see equities push up, gold should push lower, oil should push lower. Okay. Or if we see that the Greenland situation continues, like only if there's military action with Greenland. That's what they're more focused on and worried about is military action. So Greenland news, like you put in your notes, military action is what could move the markets. Because if it's not, it's just political at this point. Like if the US takes over Greenland, it's not gonna mean shit. You know what I mean? But if military action is involved, that could impact sentiment. Okay. So if he causes problems with NATO, that could impact sentiment. But if they find a way to just negotiate and he owns Greenland, the markets don't really care about that. All right, makes sense. So anything else, it's like anything politics, it's not going to move the markets. Like if ICE agents killed somebody today, it's not going to move the markets. Right. So the lockdown is what matters now. We have a partial. So it's supposedly they said it should be done by today or tomorrow. If it lasts 5 days, we would know because it's going to be a head like a lot of the representatives is going to speak, a lot of the Senate people. Sorry guys. So far, stronger dollar, stronger equities is holding. So the Senate people should speak, and they would pretty much let us know how it's going. I'm pretty sure you guys ain't gonna watch it. It is live, but you're not gonna want to watch. I used to sit through those meetings. You're not gonna want to watch it, right? So just try to focus on news headlines. Like you'll get a headline when a Congress member say something, right? If it looks like they're not gonna make an agreement, the markets could react initially to that move right away. So it depends on how long the partial lockdown is and what does it impact, because they're still putting funding. It's a partial, so it's not like economic data is going to stop and stuff like that. But if it does extend, then we have to see what is going to be the impact of it. Okay. And I would say that's pretty much it, because like moving forward, like we got the RBA rate decision. Like we could definitely go live for that, but I would say like let's see if we could still get a stronger AUD till then. But this is going to be at 10. So, well, we should be seeing somewhat of a stronger AUD currency. We should somewhat still be seeing it, and let's see what happens. Okay. Because like news headlines is what's going to really, that's what's been the main factor this year so far for January. So just because gold is not just ripping to the upside the way that it used to, this is the time where you say, like, okay, gold is acting a little different. So let me be a little more cautious. Let me be a little more patient. Don't just force a buy, right? Let's let market structure prove to you the direction it wants to go. It's okay if you don't take a trade today, right? Don't ruin what you did last month by being impatient, right? Because it's about survival. So now, if you guys are still trying to trade like last month and the markets ain't acting that way, higher chances you're going to start giving all your money back, getting overly emotional, losing your shit, all because you should have just been sitting on your hands, right? So if the markets is acting different, then you act different. All right. When the market's acting easy, breaks the structure up 300 pips, take advantage of it. If gold gives us a sell opportunity, you want to take that sell, take it, right? We see how impulsive the sells could be, right? So take that sell. You're guaranteed to get between 20 to 50 pips out of it. Okay. Like when it comes to equities, like I don't like the idea of buying at the highs. If you bought from the support, like right here, this break of structure, like that's a good buy, really good buy, right? US 30, you have to take that high risk buy. Maybe if US 30 could hold above the zone of 29 100, start breaking above 20, 49 200, the VIX is still bearish. We can most likely see like US 30 probably hit this high of 49 500. I think that could be a really good target if we could hold. Okay. But just be aware of, I think United Healthcare, like if United Healthcare could recover a bit, I think that could be a good sign. Goldman Sachs is doing good. Boeing is, yeah, Boeing could recover. I think it's just more about, yeah, Microsoft, if that could do well. So Microsoft, Boeing, and United Healthcare. If that could do a little well, then I think that US 30 could most likely give us that push higher. I think that would be a good play. But so far we should see stronger dollar. I would like the idea of stronger equities. Gold, just wait for price action. All right, guys. Any questions? You guys are good. Put a one if you guys are good. Any questions? I'm still holding USD JPY. Like I took out partials and I'm still holding a position in USD JPY. Like you can see, like look at AU, right? So it's kind of like showing like that the Australian dollar. I'm still holding AUD JPY as well. So like you can just see that shit is still holding, because like look at the currency monitor. You're gonna see like the AUD pairs. AUD is still holding its strength, which is good. I think we're gonna get a hawkish RBA. So if we can get those buys now, man, that'd be great for you guys. I think you'll definitely hold it. But I'm still holding AUD JPY. I would hope gold start pushing higher too, but let's see what happens. Yeah, like they said it says they make people feel like we're gangsters and a problem so that they won't care when we get killed by police. Yeah, like I agree. I can see both sides to it. Finally USD JPY is pushing. Anybody else entered USD JPY? How do you scalp it? What's your entry and exit? So I entered soon as we actually broke structure. And remember, I'm trading a 10 lot. So I entered at 155.30. So as soon as it hit the high, like I was already up around $700. So I closed around 300. So now I just have something floating. So my take profit is I probably close the whole trade like around here, 155.8. Probably close like I think we could hit 156, but the chances are we probably going to see a stronger dollar for the rest of the day. And my exit is normally like I like for you guys to put your exit where you will be looking for sales. But ideally, if I see that like and you use this with your my thing went away. No, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, so it could help you guys moving forward, right? So ideally, I'm just looking, that's why I have the arrow here. So when it breaks structure, that's where you're looking for buys, right? Because the data supported the dollar to gain strength, and we see that the yields is the main focus is gaining strength. So the data supports the dollar. So when I'm looking at a stop loss, I recommend always put it at an area where you'd be looking for sales, which is breaking below this area of support. But I'm still visually looking at the middle of the range. I'm already looking at 155.0 because if this actually starts pushing bearish and then I see that the yields is spiking lower, then I see the dollar is coming down to this area right here of support, I would most likely close the trade. The reason why I took partials is because I I still don't trust the strength at the moment. I think that we're probably going to see dollar just push a little lower, and like I think dollar is going to do something like this, like drop, break support, and then we could see dollar push higher. I think we're going to get something like that. So that's why I don't want to deal with that because if I can't hold USD JPY through that because what's going to happen is it is going to break my support and then later on in the day or probably 2 days we'll see it push higher afterwards. So that's how the dollar actually operates and from that standpoint, right? So I don't I don't trust it enough. So that's why I rather just take whatever money I get and I will just go break even. And if it hits my break even, it hits it. And I don't care. But if it does hold, it's extra. But the only way I can see that's holding, I'll need to see all these other dollar pairs, but exclude AUD USD. But if I want to see like GU breaking this support here, that would be a good confirm. We need to see Euro USD breaking that support is a good confirm. And as long as the yen is still weak, the yen weakness is confirming to us that it is doing the opposite of the dollar and the yields. So all of that I'm looking at just to confirm the direction, but I still don't trust the dollar because the dollar has been I'm just expecting a pullback before we could see another rally, because it's already rallying. Obviously it could just go bullish and just be bullish for the rest of the day. So I would rather get in just from because we got the data, but probably 2 hours from now, we could see the dollar just lose momentum and pull back. I don't want to deal with the pullback because I'm not looking at this as a swing trade. So just to give you like the AUD JPY, I looked at that as a swing trade. So even if like this pullback scared the shit out of everybody, but I still held my stop loss was still below the support because I was looking at this as a swing trade. But the dollar, I'm not looking at it as a swing trade. But when I do these areas of interest, when it breaks structure, data confirms, like it's up to you to enter. But once we break structure, it kind of gives us a higher probability price is going to go in that direction. But when it comes to like NASDAQ, I don't think this is a good buy. But usually if it does break above, it's just a higher probability you get that Skype high. I think you could get NASDAQ to 26,000, but I think this is out of reach. It's already impulsive. So this means that it's been bullish for an hour. So since 9 o'clock. US 30, I think this price action is a lot better. I think we could hold it a lot better, but it's still the 4 hour. So we just go here. Yeah, I think US 30 maybe it could be a little better, but it depends on your risk tolerance, guys. But gold price action looks really good. You just have to be patient for a break. If we break below the support, it's just a higher probability this could push lower. If it breaks above this high, it's just a higher probability it could push higher. Then you just include reasons behind it. Oh, do we get a news headline at the break? Was it because of data, et cetera, et cetera? If it's just a technical trade, then either lower your risk, right? Or just don't take it. But if you're just taking only a technical trade, I recommend just lower your risk or just take the scalp. So you don't want to deal with it breaking structure. You're up 30, 40 pips and then it recovers and go back towards your entry, then hits the middle of the range, right? So I just don't recommend that. This is a scout because I'm normally just from like dollar behavior, I'm used to pullbacks. Like the data was really good. I can't lie. Like this, it wasn't expansionary and it came out, it was contractionary and it came out expansionary. So it's really good. Like it's good, man. I can't. Yeah, it's good. It's just I just trust just from experience, right? You will get the opportunity, the upside. They're just the impulse, and then we could see a pullback. So it's just experience from that. And it's still 50-50. Like dollar could still be a good swing trade. Like I said, the odds of why is bullish. But for this moment, I don't think I don't like the idea of buying dollar here. I like the idea of buying dollar from here. You know what I'm saying? From the major support. I just want to see I just want to see a pullback. That's just really it. Because I don't want to take advantage of that now. Because if I do get a pullback, then my entry is all the way up here instead of being down here. Just a better risk to reward, But as of right now, like the data doesn't, I don't expect this data to really change the odds, but it just continues with Kevin Walsh and everything else that we have. And the pound is probably why the US is, yeah, yeah, just watch the pound here, the top right. Yeah, like so at least it makes sense why how Nas and dollar is bullish because dollar is bullish because dollar follows policy. So that's why it follows data as policy. Stronger data supports a stronger dollar. Feds could still be data dependent. But when it comes to equities, right, this supports good growth. We've been having good earnings, good growth, positive headlines, right, when it comes to the stock market. So good data just supports upside for equities. If this was inflation, so this is what you put for your notes. If this is inflation, then if we had higher inflation, that would most likely cause equities to push lower. So right now, I'm gonna just make the decision just to close out a UJ. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it. And that's just my decision. Yeah, I don't have to follow. I'm still holding AUD JPY, but I don't want to I don't want to deal I don't want to hold it. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong and this shit could shoot up an extra 200 pips, right? But it's just my opinion, right? But like the reason why equities is bullish in this type of data is because this is about growth. So this supports upside, right? Because it shows good growth. So that's why, like you see the red can. As soon as the data came out, equities did push lower a bit, but it was like it's most likely going to be short lived, and you take advantage of the buys because it supports good growth. But if this is inflation, then expect the opposite: stronger, higher inflation, equities will push lower. But when it comes to like PMI data, most likely equities should follow the data along with the dollar, but it could be short lived. Okay, because then you will have to focus on like news headlines and price action afterwards. So I like equity upside for the day, but I don't like the idea of dollar upside for the day. So just to make it make sense. I think this is good for dollar, but I don't think this doesn't really change anything from a policy standpoint. We're not gonna look at the CME report like what the interest rate expectations, and then this data supports one rate cut only. It's not nothing's going to change. So that's why I don't expect dollar to just hold, and that's why I felt like this is more of a scalp. But yeah, like look at all the other pairs. Like UJ moved better because when the yields get impacted, the yen get weaker. So that's why I like UJ. You see? So the yen is weaker. So that's what supported dollar. All the other pairs, it's not really being impacted as much. So that's why I said, oh, if it was a weaker print, AUD USD buys would be the best bet. So just imagine how, like, just right now, just imagine if we had a weaker print, where you think USD JP, USD, AUD USD would be. It would probably be all the way up here, because AUD strength. Gold, nah, it's not a really impact for gold. Like I was saying, just focus on price action because this doesn't really impact monetary policy. Okay. Like if it was like that's why I said a miss would have probably impacted monetary policy. But it would have had to been a massive miss. But just a beat, it's not impacting policy. This is just supporting good growth, but it's not changing rate expectations. Okay. Make sense, guys? Cynthia, I hope I cleared it up for you. But does that make sense? Like this data impacts growth. It's just a small indicator for us to see where growth is. That's all this data does. And obviously, in the next 2, 3 hours, like anything could happen. Like a dollar could rise an extra 100, 200 pips in the next 3 hours, possibly, right? But we should know by that time, we should probably see a news headline impact the markets again, or we should see like it's fair game in the next 2, 3 hours. So anything could happen. But yeah, like UJ, I didn't think it was I thought it was kind of slow to me. And I had a bad entry, but it was kind of slow. But again, I trade bigger lots, so it's probably not going to be appealing to somebody else. But I'm fine with like my $500. Make sense, guys? Yeah, you entered. Yeah, Anthony, you entered. Yeah, I think it was a good trade. I just took it as a scalp. And when I look at TP, I'm not like looking at it has to hit 55.800 is a range. So we could tap that range and it could recover. So like always look at it from a range. And my stop loss, it's below structure. That's visually what I'm expecting, but I'm willing to close if it goes in the middle of this order block because then it's showing me that price action is not reacting to data. So I would close out of it early just because it's going to be in the middle of this range. And I'm not trying to hold on to it in that type of drawdown because this is not the data for it. So I would want to see, like for the rest of the day, I would want to see a pullback on the dollar. Like if we could, I would love to see a pullback on the dollar, and as long as dollars stay above here, we should still be in bullish territory. But I would love to see the dollar break below here, break below 40.97, right? Probably retest this zone. And then if we start pushing higher, we should be looking for our intraday trades. Okay. Because I want to see it retest this zone again and then make a decision. Because if we break lower, then most likely we're going to see dollar tumble. But if that happens, we'll probably have reasons for dollar to push lower. But if we don't break below this support, then most likely I'll be looking for buys again. And it's a possibility that we could probably see dollar just retest this area. We could see it retest here and hold this zone and then probably push higher too. So just watch this zone, watch here. And then if we do break that support, right, then most likely I would say focus on this area support too. So focus on those two areas because we could see dollar retrace here, push higher, or we could come here and then push higher. But only way I look for technical sells is if we break below this support, but we have to have a reason behind it. So that's what I'll be looking for the week. But again, I could be wrong, and this shit could just rise in the next 3 hours. This shit could just rise up again another 150 pips, and shit happens. But Stronger dollar, stronger yields should help push gold lower. All right, guys, it should help push gold lower. But do I say take the trade? Wait for the break of structure. If we get the break of structure, then if you're confident in taking it, then go right ahead. All right. So I know you guys are at work driving. I know some of you at home, but just let me know if it makes sense, guys, so that when the remainder of the day, you know what to look out for. Yeah, just because I make a decision doesn't mean that you have to. So, but just understand behind like the concepts behind the decision is what's key. Like I could still be wrong and UJ could just like go up 300 pips because you choose to hold it. And I could be right. And maybe we do get a pullback. Like it's no right or wrong answer, but the thing is you don't want to be in dollar sales. That's the wrong answer. But how you take profit, how you break even is completely up to you. It don't have to be pretty. Like I'm not looking for the prettiest move. Like if I can make $300 in less than 20 in 10 minutes, that's good. But I'm also still holding AUD JPY. So that's why I don't have to be that aggressive. And I'm not looking at this as a swing trade. Only if we get a pullback, then I want to look at it for a better opportunity. I think equities, if you would have bought from down here, like this would have been better for intraday trades, like to hold equities higher. I think that would have been the best option, but not dollar yet. And also not gold yet. Like maybe, yeah, I want to see gold range more first. If we could pull back and then range more, and then probably in the next 2 days, if everything aligns with gold upside, then I would say gold going higher would probably be the best bet. But don't just be on the lookout for intraday trades on gold pushing higher. Just be on the lookout for it. But I don't think it's going to happen today. But just be aware, but I don't think it's going to happen today. Yeah, I just hope we get range in markets today. That's what I hope for. Yeah, if you guys are new, like don't fall for people acting like me again. Like he's probably gonna message you and pretend that is me. Like it's not me, guys. Again, like all I offer is the group. Everything would be through WAP. I'm not gonna ask for Bitcoin to join a one-on-one. Yeah, like this crazy. I think as a member, I think it is a member. I don't I personally don't think isn't like it's probably a person from a foreign country. Yeah, don't please don't fall for it, guys. Yeah, a person was trying to do a one-on-one and end up giving him $1,000. So that's why like it's not gonna stop. But if yeah, like if y'all stop giving him money, then I think he would stop. Yeah, like I've been giving him more money than y'all give me. Yeah, like not that it matters, but it's like yeah, like y'all was joining like they were giving him it's like 147 to be a member. Some Godfather in at 70. The people giving him like $500, guys. Like god damn, dude. Like I'm like I don't even giving me that. It's like, motherfucker's a better salesman than me. Like god damn. Yeah, there's like a Telegram group that a person is acting like me. That shit got like 20,000 fucking followers, yo. Like it has like 20,000 members in the Telegram group acting like me, bro. I can't like it's insane. Insane. Yeah, like and there's a person that had a TikTok account with like I think it was like over 20,000. Yeah, like I know one person got like 20,000 like 20K followers. I was like, "Damn, dude." I'm like, "What the hell am I doing wrong?" Yeah, and I'm sorry, it's nothing I could do about it. But it's like, damn, like it's crazy. Yeah, it's not the knowledge. It's just like it's just crazy. I don't know what he does. I think he just takes the money and then put it into some like trading account and act like he's trading it for you. And then like when you try to request a withdrawal, he just doesn't give it to you. So I think that's what they're like that's what they're doing. But they like he can't have the same WAP account. Like he can't have a WAP account. So that's how like like because that's all my payments go to WAP. So he can't have that. So I don't know how people still fall for it with the Bitcoin and stuff, but it's like, damn, dude. Yeah, it's all through WAP. So it's like I can't get like no fraud through there. Yeah, like it's like yeah, it's a payment system. So it's like if I had like Stripe like that, but I think he could word it like however he wanted. So WAP is a lot better. It's very hard to like mimic that. So even when you do PayPal, it still goes through WAP. But I don't have crypto, so I can't do crypto because crypto doesn't have recurring payments. So like I would like so for some people like I would do a crypto payment, but you'll know it's me. Like I would send you a voice note. But yeah, they've been paying us do like $500, $300. Yeah, shit is crazy. Yeah, man, it's scary. Yeah, it's scary, man. Yeah, it really sucks. I don't know who that person is. It just sucks, and it's probably a member. And I don't know why I'm dealing with that shit. Like, like do that to somebody else's group. It has to be because I'm pretty sure if any of you just joined, you probably got a message from somebody like me. But I don't know how he's able to see new members. So that's the only thing I could think of is that he's a member. But yeah, like eventually he'll stop. Yeah, I just don't just have to keep repeating it. So hopefully you guys don't fall for it. Probably is, yeah. Yeah, they have full blown conversations. Like a person just messaged me on IG. It was like, "Hey, is this you?" And they had like months. Like he had like months of conversations with a person pretending to be me, and I'm like, dude, like that's not me if you're just asking me if it's me. Like it's like holy shit. Like people like yeah, it's crazy, yo. And I'm sorry if it's one of you guys that got caught. No, I don't think he'll scoop that low. That's like a job in itself to like pretend like make accounts or pretend to be like people. Like that's a whole job itself. Like you have to record all like they record all my stories and they post it on videos. So my stories is what like my stories is what they post on their reels. Like I'm not like, damn, like I don't even I be overthinking it. And I'm like, I just be posting my stories as reels and they be getting like 50,000 views. And I'm like, holy shit. And they ain't paying for views because they're not going to use the money for that, so they're not paying for the views. So they're not paying to promote. So they ain't using the money for that. So it's like, damn, that's crazy. But yeah, I ain't doing something right, man. I gotta get my shit right. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because yeah, it's just easier to trade. I'm pretty sure he'll do well just being a trader. Yeah, guys. Nothing changed. Like, dollar strength is still there. If you're still in UJ buys, it's still there. Dollar strength, I'm expecting that to still hold. Equities is still breaking structure to the upside. Data supported stronger dollar, stronger yields, weaker yen, and it should support equity upside for the day. If you took your trades, like good job. If you took UJ, like if you didn't, it's totally fine. Like I don't think today really matters. Like remember, this is Labor Data week, so every other day we're gonna get job data points. Later today, we go live for AUD rate decision. So we're going to be focused on that. Friday is NFP data. So it's going to be pretty. pretty heavy week. We're gonna see what happens with news headlines, so just be alert. So the goal for you guys now is just to set the areas of interest that you're focusing on for the day. Set that as an alert. When price action hits that area, that's where you should make a decision, either looking at price action in a lower time frame to see if we're going to see price go lower or higher. So for instance, if gold somewhat hits this resistance, right? Now you're going to focus to see if you could take the break of structure, right? Or we're going to see it pretty much recover and push lower. Same thing if gold breaks here. You're going to see if price action is going to break lower. That's your opportunity for the day, right? So you just wait for that breaks of structure and you do that for every pair. So like USD JPY, you could already see this resistance. We already broke above. So that's your entrance. That's your entry. So now we're trying to see if price could hold and hit that take profit or if it can continue to push higher. If this goes back into, I would say if it goes back to like 155.0, just get out the trade, right? If you want to go break even. So UJ, you should be already be in it. Okay. When it comes to like GU, like we it broke structure first already. Like, so that means your entrance would have been like around here somewhere, which is very, it's very tough. You know, I don't like the idea of selling GU. That's why I like the idea of just buying UJ because all we need is a weaker yen. It's just a lot more easier. But USD, Euro USD is just the opposite of DXY. So as long as this push higher, this will push lower. When it comes to AU, if somehow for the rest of the day we get a weaker dollar, AUD USD will most likely be a better buy once we start breaking above structure, right? So that will be easier. Gold, wait for a breaker range. USD JPY, yeah, US 30, we already broke resistance. So you could already see that we're in profit. That's why I said the price action here looked a lot better than it did for NASDAQ. So you guys could see the difference, right? That's why you see the difference in volume, right? Like US 30 broke structure and then right away it started pushing higher. NASDAQ is still sitting at that high. So at least now y'all can see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Just because of like how tighter the price action is. And then the VIX is still bearish. So VIX is still pushing lower, which is good for the S&P and good for NASDAQ. So like as long as like stuff like that makes sense, like just like hearing that every day and using that in your arsenal is what helps you get better. And if you don't take a trade, just like understand what's going on. You know, learning like, oh, break a structure. It all starts there. Like when you get a break a structure, it's just before you take a trade, the odds are, say that the odds are 50-50. But as soon as it breaks structure, then the odds should be leaning towards your side, like 60% to your side, right? It's 50-50. Now it should be like 60%. It should go in your direction. Now, like if we get data to support it, the odds should increase to around 70%. You know, you get a nice order block breaker structure, like odds should increase. So like that, you know, you look at it from higher probabilities. So breaker structure is the best thing. Knowing where your stop loss is, using proper risk management. And don't worry about money. Just worry about being right. So even if you 6 pips in profit, who cares? You won. You know, and then do the same shit again tomorrow. Then do the same thing again next day. And then one day that 6 pips will turn to 300 pips. Next day that 6 pips will probably be 30 pips. You know, so it's just repeating the same pattern. It's boring, but it works. You know, now it's just a waiting game. So the next thing I would wait for, like I said on Friday, is yes, consistency. So the next thing I would wait for is a reason. So it's either going to be those headlines that I told you guys to put for your notes. Wait for one of those things to occur, and then most likely that's going to be the direction of the day. If we don't get anything, we should see at least discontinuations continue, like stronger equities, stronger dollar. We should see one of them continue for the day. Either it's going to be equities or it's going to be dollar. If gold probably will give us a break of structure, and then you'll probably get that impulse reaction, and then it probably could consolidate. So if no news headline happens, or just wait until Asian session at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. If you don't want to take no trades, then wait until the rate decision for Australia. And then we'll see if we could get an opportunity with that. All right. So that's how you plan out your day. So it's not random. It's not just like, oh, let me just come back in like 30 minutes to see what happens. It's like, no, you know, wait until you get a reason. So right now, the reason stronger dollars, stronger equities because of economic data. right? So that's what's giving us the direction. So now right there is a reason. So if you're not in it, then you missed your opportunity, then fine. Wait for another reason. Don't just take a random trade, okay? Because you missed the opportunity. You don't want to buy UJ from here. Like, oh fuck, I got FOMO. Like, no, you should have bought here. Like then you could whatever you decide to do is up to you, right? So that's how you plan out the day. But stronger dollar, that should already make sense. So in your journal, it's like, okay, well, PMI was contractionary. Now the data supports expansionary. So this is actually good from a Fed perspective because now this confirms that they could still have patience when it comes to them not cutting rates aggressively. They don't need to cut aggressively. So that's why it's good for the dollar. But it's good for equities because it shows good growth again. Okay. So hopefully that's what y'all put in your notes, and then we get the same data every month. So once you journal it, you write it down, you understand it, then next month it's the same shit. And then next month after that, same shit. So the difference is the type of print, but you should already understand how the markets would react when it goes higher and how the markets react when it goes lower and what happens to the markets when it just stays the same. So that's the only three things you got to focus on. So when you can understand those three things, right, it should just take you 2 to 3 months. And then you should be able to understand how to trade the markets when the data is higher, lower, or the same, how the markets react when every time we get those opportunities. Right, guys? And it's no coincidence that the markets moved. Yeah, UJ is moving decent. Probably gonna beat the dog. Punch air. But yeah, it's no coincidence that UJ is moving because of the data. But it wasn't moving at 8 a.m. It wasn't moving at 7. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, you close. Yeah, EU is a good one too. So just to make you like some people don't want to believe it, but it's no coincidence that now we see the markets are moving. It's because of the data, that's finally taking effect. It's not random. And the entries wasn't that quick. It was very slow. It wasn't quick. And it also pulled back too. So it wasn't like, oh, it was impossible for me to enter. It's like, nah, like it actually took time. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, like I trained myself with that first. Yeah, like because I don't know if y'all was part of the old group when y'all was listening to him, it's like it makes y'all feel that when the data comes out, it has to react immediately. Right? So that's the feeling. And it's like, no, like we could get stronger dollar. Yeah, like it could be stronger dollar. It could take 15 hours to finally get stronger dollar. And then the headline after that is going to say dollar, it was stronger today because of ISM PMI data. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about like the data supports a direction, but the timing of how long that direction holds is up to the markets. So it could do it within the next 2, 3 hours. It could be 10 hours as long as nothing interrupts the direction, right? So everything supported the direction. It's just like the timing is like, well, if I'm looking for a direction now, I just know that dollar strength should hold because of this. What could impact that is if we see dollar weakness, what could cause dollar weakness? Usually it's just economic data, right? We don't have no more data. So even if we get pullbacks, now that's where it's like, oh, if dollar don't break below 97.0, technically I still be looking for buys. So it's just that. Like just because it depends on the type of data and how the print is. Like if this data would have came out at like 47 was the previous, if it came out at like a 48 or 49, right? Then I wouldn't I wouldn't care as much. Like it's still strong data, but doesn't mean dollar has to still gain strength throughout the whole day. Nah, probably not. It could probably push a little higher and then dollar would drop because the data is still contractionary. But it's tough to understand it because like a lot of people just say, oh, when the data comes out, expect the reactions immediately. And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But this is why you have to focus on your technicals because the charts is what tells you does the markets care immediately or not. But you have a direction. So this is why, like, probably as long as you guys been with me, how many times it happened where we traded data and then I'll be like, well, this should be the direction for the day. Wait for breaks of structure. If it takes 2, 3 hours, wait for it. But this should be the direction. And in 2, 3 hours, it actually goes in that direction. Like how many times that happens? It happens a lot, right? And I try my best to make y'all guys see it. Because the goal is to understand like what makes sense for the direction of the day. So once you can understand direction, now you just use your technical analysis. How it don't matter how you look at it, fibs, order blocks, holds, breaks of support, resistance. You just wait for your technicals to align with that direction. Yeah, it will come back to your entry and then shoot to the sky. And it happens. And it's nothing wrong with that. Like if it comes back to your entry and then you choose to break even, it's just making that decision and just being okay with it. Like it doesn't impact the type of trader you are. It's just a decision. So you just have to make a logical decision. Because if if you're breaking even because you over leveraged or you're afraid of being a drawdown, then that's the problem. But if if you're breaking even because you think that's the best decision to make because you're protecting your capital and it's like, hey, I don't want to be up 20 pips and then be negative 20 pips, that's okay. But that's why the best option is always take partials. Like even if like you're doing like a 0.002 and it's like, man, I'm only up like $5. Who cares? It's about the skill set. So just close half of that, be 0.1 and just leave a runner. So you're training yourself to trade like the day that you will be trading 100 lot. You know what I'm saying? So this is all preparation. It's just about being correct. Trading is not pretty. Who cares if you have a 60 pip stop loss and you have a 10 pip take profit? Who made that a fucking rule that trading the risk to reward? It's just a bunch of fucking TikTokers and Instagram peep followers that drive Lamborghinis that's telling you that. Like trading don't have to be pretty. You just got to win. That's all that matters. Like trading don't have to be pretty. Like, oh, that's the bad risk to reward. Coming from a person that selling, that doesn't really trade. So don't worry about trading being pretty. Like don't care about your risk to like the R to R. That shit doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, your risk management is what matters. If you have 60 pips and that's 2% of your account, that's all that matters. If you choose to close at 10 pips of profit, that is okay. Just win. Trading doesn't have to be pretty. It's not pretty. It's not. So don't try to trade as if you're trying to post it on social media, unless you're trying to make content. Like the UJ trade that I took is not pretty. So that it's not pretty. It's not attractive, right? But I won, and that's all I care about. So how do you know the print is contractionary and expansionary? Leo just yeah, Leo. So above 50 is expansionary, below is contractionary. So, yep, there you go. Like PMI data, that's what you focus on. PMI data, like if the PMI data is at like 46 and it came out at a 48, like your instant is like, okay, that currency could gain strength, right? So that's your instant reaction. But in reality, it is still contractionary, so it's still bad. So it's not worth a trade when you're trading PMI. The only thing is worth a trade if it's above 50 or it's below. So if it's a 48 and then it's below and it comes out at a 46, you could look for a weaker currency. That should be a really good trade because that's further contractionary, further bad growth. But if it's like a 48 and then it comes out at a 49, it's still contractionary. So it's like it's not really worth that trade. But if it's above a 50, then it's worth a trade because now you just change trajectory. Now it's like, oh, it's actually expansionary with growth. So that's how you take advantage of PMI data. It's not like trading GDP, so you trade PMI a lot different. Trade 3 years and still learning something new every day. Yeah, yeah, that's the goal. Still, yeah, that's the goal. It's always about learning. Yeah, that's wisdom. You're never gonna actually like figure shit out. You never like if you're still learning, that's exciting. Like even me, sometimes I still like. I believe this is what highs and lows. Yeah, like you're still gonna learn a lot. Like because once you get this down pat, then once y'all guys get wait until we get to a shift of policy where Like we're at expansionary, like where we are now with with the macro cycle. Like wait until we get into the next phase. That's when shit starts acting. That's when shit gets interesting. So it's waiting until that you get to the next phase. Like wait until we actually get recessionary data. That's when shit gets cool. Yeah, exactly, Leo. It's leading indicators. So like it's very that's why I've been saying this whole time. It's not a good we're not at a good place to sell US 30 and NASDAQ S&P. We're not at a good place because the leading indicators is not suggesting recession. It's not suggesting the Fed should cut interest rates. It's not suggesting slowed growth. It's just not doing it. It'd be like the way it is now, you could tell. Like, how do we tell when it does show it? It'd just be the opposite of what we've been having so far. You'll know. So right now it's not supporting that. It's just a lot of fear mongering that's going on, hypotheticals, but nothing is factual. So that's the problem. Like people want a recovery, but it's just not factual. Yeah, gold is at that support because dollar and the yields is pushing higher. We're like 5 minutes for that hourly candle. That's what I hate. Like when we come close to that hourly, right? Let's see what, because yeah, let's see what happens when it breaks structure. But yeah, the stronger dollar and the stronger yields. Like so, if you're looking at the 5 minute, right, you could already identify the break of structures right here, right? Because we broke below that resistance, and then you just want to see price just stay below this zone. So if in the next hour, right, we could just see that like we could continue to hold lower, like this could be a good target right here at this support if we could see price continue to push lower, right? But we have to see what happens with that next hourly candle because we got 5 minutes and it's either we could probably either see a pullback first and then if it breaks structure, you could take that trade. Right? We could either take that, but if you want to enter now, it depends on your risk tolerance, but the only thing that's happening right now is just stronger dollar. But we need to see price stay below 46.20. And then I say this is a target that you could hit. If you want to hold it even longer, it just has to break below that support, right? The way I still think buys is more accurate is just above 4,800. We still don't really have anything. It's just, especially when it comes to gold. So that's why I'm not like, I would rather look for gold buys to tell you the truth than sells. But if it does sell, I don't want you guys to miss out on an opportunity. But if you entered here, like, I think that's a good entry. But just, I would say like a proper stop loss, it would just be like right here. But it's just technicals at this point. Okay. It's just technicals, but this right here will be a proper stop loss. I don't think it's worth holding it up there because most likely if gold recovers, then just get out. Make sense, Cynthia? So if you enter, is based off of your top. If you want to enter, you should enter at this break here. You can enter there, or wait until like after, like wait until that next hourly. If you could get a retest and then start seeing it break lower, then that could probably be an entry. But if you're entering here, you got to have some big balls, which you probably do have. Yeah, so I don't like the sells neither. But the problem is like when gold sells off, it's very rapid. It's very impulsive. So this is how like you can make your 100 pips in like seconds. But when gold pushes higher, it's more like it's not impulsive. It's just more like it takes time, like you see like consolidation, then it will break out higher, then you get a nice little pullback, then it break higher, it moves sideways, then it pushes higher. It takes its time. But when gold is bearish, right? Like that shit just go like that, bam. Like that's just the problem. It's just like it's just rapid, and it just technicals. But the buys will come. It just probably will take like last time I said it would take all day. It did it in like an hour after that. So just like set that alert at this high, and like you could take a high risk buy if it follows like the way, like, so you guys screenshot this if you're looking at that. But the way you take the buys is just if it just does inverse of this. So if I inverse the scale, like you just want to see an order block like this, and then you wait to take buys once it start breaking structure. So you just have to wait for this, but inverse. That's all. So let an order block happen, and then once you get that bullish structure, then you take advantage of it. Like something like this too, like because this is a good entry as well. Like if it does something like this, and then you could take the break of structure. But we're just not seeing that yet. This is technically selling right now. This is technical sell. And I'm pretty sure there's people in gold cells. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's just naked price action. Like you just have to be able to identify market structure. So you just see it all comes down just from like looking at the 30-minute support, which was right here. That's why with all this information in this group able to access various countries. Yeah. Yeah, because like all the countries is the same, it's the same thing, like they all move the same way. It's just that the dollar is just more dominant, so but you get opportunities, but like they all react the same way towards policy, every country. Just the dollar is just way more dominant, but every country they react towards data the same way. You see, like this is why like US 30 was a better option than NASDAQ, just because of like just price action alone is just different. You see? Just price action. So that's what's the diff that's the like the only thing that I saw different. It's just price action. Like that was just it. So it's just that takes time, like it's just price action, and then that's how you could tell like, oh, why the US 30 pushed higher, NASDAQ really didn't. And it's just like me just looking at price action. But that's just me doing this for all these years. Like I didn't say like, oh, buy NASDAQ. It was just like if you want to take the buy, look at US 30. NASDAQ, probably not really. So I came today, I made 100. March will be my 2 years trading, and this is the most amount I've made in days. I'm grateful for the knowledge. Yeah, man, like amazing. Where you from, Philip? Because I don't think they know where you're from. Like show these guys, everybody here, there's no fucking excuse. He's from Nigeria. And how much is 100 US dollars in your country? So what's your excuse, guys? You know, I can't post that on social media. They get offended. But you guys know, like it's no excuse, man. It's a month pay if I get a job. Yeah, guys hear this? Yeah, I'm from America, man. And we don't, it takes him a month to get $100, US dollars. Probably most of you guys are already 11. You probably already spent $100 on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like if Philip shows up every day, foreign country, makes $100 trading, like he had to start off with making sense. So this is why I tell you guys just focus on the skill, and the money is gonna come. The money is not the point. Like that's not what I'm like. Y'all gonna get it because y'all here. Because if y'all learning from me, y'all not gonna get worse unless y'all just not paying attention. The problem is like what is the character you're gonna build when you do get it? Because you could make that type of money and still fuck it up. But if you don't fix your mindset, like the money is not going to change who you are. If you're a prick, you're an asshole, the money is just going to inflate that ego. Like if you're very bad with storing your money, budgeting and managing by what you have now, if you double that, you're just going to be even worse with it. It's going to put you in a worse situation. Like so, like Philip's situation is like, oh, I never had $100 before. So I mean, it takes me a month to get $100. So now he's making more money in a day than what he'd normally make it in a month
that can mess up somebody's mindset. So now he could go buy everything he want. So he would still have the same mindset as a person making that type of money in a month that he is in a day because he would increase his debt and bills. So this is why if you work on that now, right? You store your money now, you do better with your finances and your bills now. When the money do come, you'll be able to handle it. Like look at Odell Beckham. He says that he can't survive off $100 million. Like it does, so it shows it doesn't matter the type of like the mindset he has. So he probably was always bad with money. His mother was bad with money. His whole family was bad with money. So that's what shows is a mindset. It's not the money. So just work on that. The money is gonna come, guys. It's gonna come. But who are you gonna be when that actually comes? You're gonna be like that, make 100 million and that blow it all and then blame it like 100 million ain't enough. It's like what the hell? You got no family. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, yeah, giving Lambos the family, but give how you give a family member like a $5 million home, and they make $60,000 a year. They can't keep up with the maintenance. They can't afford to keep up that house. It just doesn't make sense. Like if somebody gives you a McLaren, you think is a great gift, but what happens when the oil change come? You can't afford the oil change, right? So it's a mindset, guys. That's why like I'm glad you shared that, Philip. I'm so happy for you. Like just motivate them, like motivate people. Yeah, I check it. I'll check it after this call, Dylan. AXA Bank of America says Kevin Walsh is unlikely to bring rapid policy shifts. He may push for a similar short duration of the balance sheet. Yeah, like that's my thing. It's like, how come if unless it's just like a tactic for them to keep the Fed's independence, because unless like I said, this is like a big game, right? It's just such a big game, because if that's the case, then why try so hard to get rid of Jerome Powell if you're just hiring somebody else that's just going to do what Jerome Powell's doing? So it's just like it seems like it's just a really big game that they're playing. Let's see how that like how this affects, like how this all changes, but imagine they vote Kevin Walsh in and then he's doing the same shit Jerome Powell's doing. So it seems like it's more personal and there's things happening behind closed doors that we just don't know about, because it should, to me, that just doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're hiding stuff. Yeah, like because it's like why go through all of this trouble to say that you want to get rid of Jerome Powell because he's not cutting interest rates. He's not stimulating the economy. And then vote for somebody, elect somebody that is going to do the same thing. Like so to me it just seems like there's so much happening behind closed doors that we just don't know. It just doesn't make sense unless they're trying to make it look that way so that in theory the Fed still have their independence, knowing that they really don't. So like that's the only thing I could think of, because the Fed independence is what's really more important. Because if politicians could just come out and just tell chairs of a central bank what they want them to do with policy, that impacts everything. So you have to give the illusion that that's not true. So I think it's like, let's see, because nothing is confirmed yet. And remember, when these Bank of America analysts and stuff, they got college degrees and stuff. So you don't want to, I don't want to like degrade what they do, but a lot of them like it's just theory. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Walsh haven't spoken yet, so it's like it's just a hypothetical theory. So it's like it's not like it's true. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what's going to happen. Like Trump is so unpredictable. It's like you can't say that he's going to do something. You don't know what he's going to do. So that's why I take that those stuff at like a grain of salt. It may seem like these guys are highly intelligent, like and stuff. They are, but again, they're just analysts. They're just there for clicks, and like it's just a hypothetical. Because in a month or so, if Kevin Walsh is dovish, you're not going to remember that headline. You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to actually put, oh, markets are dovish right now because Kevin Walsh is now a dove. It's like yo, like 3 months ago, you said that he wasn't. Like, so that's the thing, you know? That's why I take it with a grain of salt. Unless he actually says something, that's when we believe it. But as of now, it's just like, yeah, the markets follow the money. You know, markets is showing that they're more hawkish on his policy. But all right, guys, I'll end it here. Don't want to talk to you guys to death. Facts of partial shutdown. Yeah, let's see where that goes. You know, I know it's live. I know it's live on YouTube. It's just that I don't know. I'm not gonna have you guys watch it because I'm telling you, it's boring. It's- you're just gonna be watching them like, yeah, I can't really find it. Uh, yeah, I just put it here though, so you guys could, yeah, just to see what more they say on the partial shutdown. Yeah, I could pay more attention to it because that's going to be the edge. Usually they have a live stream of, but it's usually like later in the day though, where they actually go in and vote. It's not normally in the mornings. It's usually like later in the day. That's when, but yeah, just pay attention to the news headlines, guys. And yeah, to see where it goes from there. You guys should already understand the direction. All right, guys. So next call will be the NYSE. We'll trade AUD like AUD rate decision. All right, guys. See you in the chats. Live stream is up if you wanna. Yeah, and then I'll do the market update for you guys and everything. So just focus on news headlines. You know, make sure that the news feed is up. So just in case if a news headline do come out, right, just set those alerts, those areas of interest to focus on. Just set those alerts. And is this the Chicago mayor? I think he's a retard. But yeah, just make sure you set those alerts. All right, so gold not pushing lower. So this is what I meant. You know, now we got the new hour. So now I think is a good time to wait until gold make a decision. Okay. Because if gold wants to push lower now, because now we got the new hour, right? So obviously this is a zone you want to focus on. If gold does push higher and then start breaking lower, then it's a higher probability gold might push lower for the day. Still look for the buys above 4,800. But if we do break above that high, it is like 4,700. If you do take that buy, yes, there will be a higher probability gold could push higher. But again, it depends on your tolerance and how you want to look at your entries. You want to take a high risk buy, that's up to you, right? But it could break higher and then do something like this. If we do something like here, where it looks like it's going to break and then break lower, most likely we could see price push lower. You know, we could see it break below this area of support, then you can look for those sells. Okay. So now's a good time to focus, but it's up to you. You want to take the safer buys or the high risk buys. You want to take the high risk sell as if price breaks back below this area of support, or you want to wait for the safer sells. Okay. So that's what you focus on. Dollar already reacted. Equities pretty much reacted. Maybe Nasdaq could be a little late to the party. You could probably see Nasdaq if it breaks higher, but everything else kind of did. If dollar and yield start pushing lower, then let's see if those gold buys will come back into place. I think that would be a good look. But all right, guys, have a good one.